Hello.
Hello. Howdy. Christine is still out of the state.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's I need to learn more about her job and what's going on just out of curiosity, but she's in Minnesota this week taking care of business.
Oh.
So she's going to be watching the video afterwards like she did last. Anyhow, that means you and I get to take a deep dive into our problems, and I thought it would be interesting to share mine along with yours. As we talk about some of these things, I might have some input. But let's start with rating the week because we made some changes last week, and you should have a little bit of a feeling. I know we don't have data yet, but you might have a feeling on how things are going. So tell me about that.
I would say like a 9. I feel really, really good this week.
Good. Fantastic.
I I can definitely tell just like getting a little bit more like comfortable with the points, and kind of, getting more into a groove with that. I feel really, really good. I haven't had any like flare-ups or anything like that. Um, and like physically my body feels a little tired, but I feel like it's just because of the workouts from this week.
Yeah.
um, but I still have like the same amount of energy and everything like that, so
So for future reference, I'll just state for the record that it's hitting 100 degrees every day this week.
yeah.
And I walked into the gym Tuesday to do the workout, and it was 104 degrees. I walked in yesterday and today, it's 104 and 103 degrees. So the afternoons are especially warm, but I have found through some experimentation that the morning, slightly hot weather and extremely high humidity
Mhm.
kills me.
Yeah.
So it just really, I mean, it doesn't kill me, but it makes the workouts more challenging for sure.
Yeah.
So the context of your journey is suddenly June is a miserably hot month.
Hmm.
And the fact that you're feeling good and you give yourself a 9 this week, I think that speaks volumes about how well you're doing
Yeah.
in the program and in all the choices that you're making. Sounds like you must be staying hydrated.
Yeah.
For
Oh yeah. I never will have that problem. I drink probably too much water.
So tell me about the how do you balance electrolytes?
So I put Propel in my water pretty much. I don't drink water without some sort of electrolytes in it. Um, and that's kind of always been like my go-to as far as electrolytes go. And then I do drink I guess an amino acids concoction of some sort before I work out
Yeah.
today. And I think that helps like keep me going for the workout,
Okay.
especially.
Okay. So that's awesome. Um, I take a pre-wad that has caffeine in it. It's probably the
Mm,
most important ingredient. Do you drink any caffeine in the morning before you come to the gym? Do you drink any
no, I
caffeine at all? Do you consume caffeine at all?
no.
Do you have any history consuming caffeine?
I used to. I used to be a Diet Coke addict. And I realized that one, not good for me, but two, the caffeine was contributing to my inflammation. So,
Oh, wow. Okay. So you had to back off. Are there any other stimulants like that are common in the American diet that you had to back off of?
um, no, I don't think so. Caffeine was probably the biggest one. I will drink an iced coffee maybe every, you know, 3 or 4 months just because I do enjoy it. But I, just really I'm really mindful of like not drinking caffeine because I know it does cause inflammation and flare-ups for me.
Can you do decaf when you do your iced coffee?
Yeah, I can do decaf. I'm like, what's the point of drinking coffee if you're not get the kick from it? But no, I do have that option. So if I'm ever just like, man, I really want coffee, then I'll do decaf.
Yeah. I can't remember if I told you all in Bod Squad, but I had a one Coke Zero a day habit.
Mm.
And it was like my little treat, and I really, really enjoyed it. And Tracy used to beat me up every time. And she's that precise a dietitian. And it's not like she doesn't follow a strict program. She just she has she has an affinity for vegetables that's off the charts. I mean, every single night for dinner we have a significant portion, you know, the appropriate portion we're all supposed to have, but most of us struggle to get.
Yeah.
Um, but we have that on every single meal. And she made a really good like a pasta salad the other day, and because she knows I love this, she drenches these pieces of bread in olive oil and roasts them in the oven to make them
Mm.
crispy. And
Yeah.
so it's like having giant croutons for your salad.
Yeah.
And but she'll eat a couple pieces, but she'll make a tray of 10 or 12 or 14 pieces. So I will keep my hands off of hers. And I end up, I mean, it's like there are certain things I'm not addicted to, but if they're around, they're in trouble. And,
Yeah.
uh, and, and crispy olive oil soaked toast
Yeah.
is
That's pretty high up.
it's right up there in the addiction category. Dark chocolate is something that we really can't keep around because I'll have it every single night if we do.
Yeah.
And she's not even allowed, and we don't buy ice cream. But in the summertime, um, especially certain brands and certain flavors are just, if they're there, I'll destroy them.
Yeah.
So that one of the keys we did a best practices listing when we did the no sugar challenge, and one of the key listings was do not store your cheat foods in the house.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Cheat foods need to be hard to get,
Yeah.
and that's the case for us, except for we do a lot of margaritas typically in the summertime. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's probably the best. I feel like that's for me, that's probably the best like go-to drink other than I like a good like mule. But especially in the summer when it's hot, you just want to like sit on a patio and drink a good beverage.
Yeah, exactly. And I got it this year. Really, I got into Tajín, and
Mm.
my justification is that it's my electrolytes. So, did you get a chance to read or actually watch the video on the dopamine detox?
Yeah. And I feel like I don't know, for some reason I feel like I've either seen a clip of it before or seen something similar.
So that guy rings a bell for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't watch that kind of stuff very often, so he did not. I don't think I've ever seen him before, but I thought it was very, very entertaining and amusing.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
process he went through and the things he denied to try to do the detox. It's I do feel a separation in interest level between me and all the younger generations that came after me.
yeah.
In other words, there seem to be a lot of temptations that I just don't share at all,
Yeah.
and especially anything related to social media. I just the last thing I want to do. I'd rather cut the grass than scroll through Instagram.
Hmm.
I'd rather be out there sweating my ass off than looking to see what people are posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's one of the actually maybe the biggest weakness in our business.
Yeah.
Running a CrossFit gym, to not play that game, to not. Tracy's good at it. She loves it. She likes it. She doesn't love it, but she likes it, and she's getting better and better at it. There's all kinds of new toys out there, apps that you can use to put stuff together, and she's digging that. But I just I'm not addicted to it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's a mind, it's mentally taxing. And I feel like I use it more for like knowledge and learning,
Hmm.
especially like Instagram now. I feel like you can, not that it's all factual or anything like that, but I just feel like it's a really good learning tool for me. Like even joining CrossFit now, I follow all these people that, teach you how to do certain things and, drills and things like that. And so I
Yeah.
kind of more towards a learning, you know,
Yeah,
aspect
and it's very specific to a particular
thing.
subgenre of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I do occasionally look on Instagram at surfing videos,
Mhm.
giant wave surfing,
Yeah.
and then it just feeds into sharks one way or another, and suddenly you're looking at shark videos, and then you're looking at wild animals attacking other wild animals, and there is some pretty entertaining stuff on there. That is true.
Yeah.
And just last week, I stumbled across, you know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, he was out of Texas, and he's a rock star, basically, guitar player, and he was very popular when I was in college, back in the late '70s, early '80s, and then he died in a tragic helicopter accident. I don't
Mm.
remember what year that was, but it was like maybe the '90s or 2000 or something like that. But anyway, I got the chance to see him play live in live performances in Austin, um, and I mean, to this day, it's like I've never seen anything so spectacular than this guy playing a guitar. So there's all kinds of real clips, the
Hmm.
reels that are out there now. So
Yeah.
there's all kinds of real clips on him playing live, and it's so much more entertaining than his the canned stuff that he put in the albums, which was kind
Mhm.
of controlled by the producers. This live stuff is just stunning. It's so good.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff's fun. But so did you give any thought to, or did you exercise the challenge, the
I
detox?
did.
So what'd
I
you do?
I would say like TV is not really a hard thing for me. We don't really watch it. I don't really have time to watch it. It's mostly like just getting on Instagram and scrolling. But I feel like I definitely limited myself. Like I usually do like a scroll in the morning just to see, what's going on, and then I'll do a scroll at night. And so I limited myself to just do the morning, and then at night just set my alarm, put my phone down, and go to bed. So I did try to limit myself more, and I think it's helpful. Like I try not to look at my phone too much before I go to bed anyways, because it kind of is not, it wakes you back up
Yeah,
a little.
it's on the list of no's. No,
Yeah.
when it's time to go to bed.
Yeah. But sometimes I'm just like, someone just sent me a message. Let me look at it. Let me respond. So,
Yeah.
but I just, 8:30, I put my phone down, didn't look at it, and just moved on. So, um, I would say that I don't know if it will become a forever habit, but I will try to keep it a habit.
So you cut from how many minutes to how many minutes?
Um, I probably say like an hour total to like 30 minutes.
Okay. And how do you watch the clock? Do you check the time right before you start, or just
Yeah.
pay attention? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel more relaxed afterwards, or more energetic, or maybe that's
Um,
part of the process that you've already talked about, that you feel better.
yeah. I mean, it could be like I don't feel like I'm getting, you can have like information overload a little bit sometimes. So I don't feel like bombarded with just all this random stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, or was that the main focus of your detox?
That was my main focus.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't think of anything that I did, because like I said, that stuff I'd rather, um, we just got rid of the newspaper. We were getting a Sunday New York Times,
Hmm.
which I used to love, but I think it wasn't the price that got us in the end. It was sometimes they wouldn't deliver on time or not at all.
Hmm.
Be standing out there in our bathrobes waiting for the newspaper, like all the other old people in the neighborhood. And it just got like, okay, I can look at all this stuff online and you're just sucking all the joy out of it for me because you're not here. So,
Yeah.
and the online stuff is kind of cool. There's all this interactive, there's 3D stuff and interactive stuff and moving graphs, and the data presentations are always fun. And the newspaper, I really, I don't miss it at all.
Yeah.
It's there's no way it can survive in
Right.
this modern culture that we have. There's no way a physical print newspaper can survive. None of them will survive. And so that anyway, that was like a calm. They say that reading a book, like a real book, is better on your brain and better on your relaxation and your stress level and everything than looking at the same book on a Kindle,
Yeah.
or especially watching some sort of media entertainment, on a device. So books, I think books will stay around.
Oh,
We've got a lot of books in the house.
I'm a
Um,
book.
are you a Kindle person?
No, I like the physical book.
Okay. Now, when you read, are you reading fiction, nonfiction, mix?
Um, I don't really read a lot of nonfiction. If I'm gonna read something that I'm like learning. Like I like autobiographies and just information on, a certain topic.
So is this autobiographies of famous politicians, famous movie stars, famous soldiers,
It
people,
really,
adventurers?
yeah, I feel like anyone that I feel like, I want to learn more about in their history and background.
Is there
Like
any
one,
theme? Is there a common tie between them?
not really. I read Ronda Rousey's autobiography years ago, and that was very interesting to me. And then I read like Michelle Obama's book. I wouldn't call it. It's kind of an autobiography book a couple years ago, just
Yeah.
like more about different people's perspectives and how they grew up and all of that.
Right, right. So maybe not rags to riches per se, but rags to importance,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like a quiet life to a life that changed people's lives, kind of thing.
yeah.
I think um, my threads run through kind of U.S. history, like how we put this country together,
Hmm.
and then of course, like every other kid that ever lived, the war theme,
Hmm.
how we got through that stuff, and the leaders that we had during the wars, during the tough times in the country. And then it's all about adventures. The explorers, the people that stretched the boundaries in new ways. Climbed mountains, or you've heard of, can't think of his first name. Shackleton was the guy's name. He was an adventurer that, he was sailing a boat called the Endurance around. I think they were trying to. It's been a while since I read it, but they were exploring, Antarctica,
Oh,
and
really?
they got stuck down there for like a year. The boat was stuck in ice, and then they eventually broke free and had to. It was a survival story, and
Yeah,
so that kind of stuff is really,
that's
it's really intriguing to me. But and then Tom Wilson. Tom brings me books all the time, and
hmm
I think I have three of them at the gym right now. And two of the three, or maybe all three, at least two of the three, are about generals in the 20th century,
Mm,
and sort of the biographies. I guess mostly what I read is not autobiographies; it's just biographies. So
yeah.
it's not in the voice of the individual. It's more like the historians in retrospect, looking back and analyzing and assessing their lives and their contributions. But
Yeah.
Tom is he's a military man, so he's got all the generals laid out.
Yeah.
He teaches a leadership class where he created a leadership program at Houston Christian High School,
Oh,
and
wow.
and it's a really really big program. And so he still lectures there from time to time, and he actually brings me in, or actually brings a class to the gym once a year, and we talk about small business ownership and whatnot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just finished reading. Sure, you've heard of Alexis de Tocqueville. He
Mm,
wrote a book in the like 1830s called Democracy in America,
hmm
and he's a French guy, and very aristocratic, snobby French dude who spent almost a year, maybe a year, just touring around in America and talking to people and interviewing politicians and business leaders and trying to get a feel for what made America tick. And so his views, his observations, and a lot of his conclusions are are resonating so loudly today. Like all the challenges we have as a country, he's telling us we're going to have these challenges. This is
Yeah.
this is going to be a problem, And he was 15 years early on the Civil War, but he kind of saw that coming, and he just really did a. It was just it's kind of dense. It's not fun reading, but it was really
Mhm.
interesting. It's kind of the basis for a lot of other analysis in different ways. But so I finished that one, and then I opened up the book um, cabinet in the study to find something else to read, and the oh, trying to think, it's back to guitar playing actually. I'm trying to think of the lead guitar. I can't think of his name. The lead guitarist for Led Zeppelin has a like an anthology book. It's a tabletop book, so it's one of those that's big. And
Yeah.
um, and so I don't know if I'm gonna read that or not, because I read right before I go to bed, and it's kind of a heavy book to hold up. But
You
anyway,
wouldn't want to sleep with that.
yeah. So we ought to. I mean, what we could do is throw around some favorites. We could
Yeah, that would
talk through this forum and through with other people as well, and have like a G Bar 3 book club. The
that
thing,
would be
because it seems like I look at the cabinet, I open it up, and there's all kinds of great books in there. Oh, there's Barack Obama, The Call of History. So Tracy's a huge fan, and I am
that would
too. But and then there's some other stuff. I got into this guy named Stephen Kotler, who wrote a book called The Rise of Superman, and it's about how people to survive have to go into flow, and flow is a very specific brain chemistry and brain wavelength passage, if you will, that basically silences all the voices and gives the possessor of flow complete clarity and complete vision and complete laser focus on whatever it is they're trying to do. And
Mhm.
if somebody's trying to surf a giant wave, they have to be absolutely in the moment and not make any mistakes, or they will die. And
Yeah.
you go down the list of all of the other. So the Rise of Superman was all about extreme sports and how the people that survived in extreme sports had these things in common: the way their brains work, the way
Mm.
their brains focused when they were in that moment, and what kind of chemistry. It's like back to the dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all that stuff, endorphins. Um, those all play a significant role in 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 the moment of truth, where the brain has you right in the moment, and you're doing exactly what you need to do to get through that moment. So
Yeah.
surfing is a good example, but extreme skiing, you know, you see people, and you see it on Instagram too, but you see it in the Olympics, people doing things that are mind-boggling, and if they make a mistake, they'll definitely go home with broken bones
Right.
or dead. So that book got me into so one of my threads is about how the human brain works and
Mhm.
the complexities and the mysteries around that. So I've got a couple of books like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like back to so it's all the sports, extreme sports, war history, and the American experience and how we've survived it. Kind of, that's my themes. Have you, I can't remember if Quality Leisure is already in your inbox, or if that's coming. Let's see where that pops in. Actually, that popped in today. Pursuing High Quality Leisure. Does that ring a bell? Have you had a chance to look at everything today?
I looked at the thing today. Maybe I was on the wrong day, so I'll look at it again.
Okay. Yeah, I'm showing it on today.
Okay.
Anyway, it's kind of like what we're talking about now. It's finding ways to improve the quality of your the free time that you have. You know, if you're gonna have free time and you're gonna pick something up and play with it, like pick up a guitar and learn how to play, or pick up a book and read it, or watch a show on TV or visit a museum. This is kind of this document here talks about all the different categories of things that you could think through to get ideas on what to do and how to do it.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that sounds good.
it's pretty cool. So read through that, and
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. And Christine, if you're listening, read through it as well, because all you're doing is traveling and eating restaurant food, or maybe even worse, hotel food. And your sleep quality is probably not good, and you're probably not getting as many CrossFit visits as you normally would. So come back soon. We're looking forward to you. So let's cut there. And next week is a series of discussions on motivation, which is always helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know if you need to even read that stuff though. You're on a real strong path right now, and it's fun to watch. So I'm glad I get to watch.
Thank you. I'm a pretty motivated. Well, I would say I'm more determined, which fuels my motivation. So
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, we'll get to see where it leads you this year.
yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, we're gonna weigh in Monday.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, we'll do it then, and we'll see what the numbers look like. By the way, Christine opted down. I need to check to see if this is still valid, but she opted down to 12.5 several weeks ago,
Okay.
several weeks ago. So we'll get an update from her and see how that's going.
Yeah, I'd be
And,
curious.
and then, yeah, you're 14. Let's stay there for now, and then we'll get the reading on Monday and see if we want to adjust it. If you've got, I consider room to adjust being if you're not feeling famished, you know, if you're
Right.
not feeling like you need some carbs or you need something, then there's an opportunity to back it off even more. So we'll figure that out. Okay, I will see you tomorrow.
Perfect. See you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. See you then.
Bye.